Good morning, Vishen. Thank you very much for sharing this awesome, uh, actually motivational, I'm not going to say speech, but session and interactive, hands-on for sure. We would love to. I would like to ask you a couple of questions. They are just to maybe summarize your amazing session and speech that we had. So to start, I've been looking at some awesome videos. Number one, I love that you guys do everything visually, so you don't need to read because it's a digital age and everything is on social media and like hyper sharing and exposing. So. According to Bob Proctor, one of your mentors, right? So he was the person to let you change your mindset instead of thinking small to go big, how to touch a billion lives and to change course of history. And this is why I believe your business, that you call it an education organization. So can you tell us more about Mindvalley U, as well as what you are doing in terms of the education?
So Mindvalley focuses on Mindvalley focuses on transformational education. Transformational education is essentially what you may think of as wisdom. It's about education that nurtures the human self. It's not geography, it's not history, it's not math. You see, all of that we will have incredible access to as our smartphones, as AI become more dominant. But what is often lacking in our common education is education of self-care. It's mindfulness, it's wisdom, it's healthy eating, it's how to be in better relationships. It's even things such as how to be a better mom or dad to your kids. We focus on that type of education. We try to work with the world's best teachers, and we deliver that to millions of people through our app, our Mindvalley app, which has incredible teachers and incredible trainings, and now our new global campus. So our global campus it's like a university, like a campus, but it has events happening all around the world. The biggest event is actually 30 days. Thousands of people move to a city together with their children for 30 days, and we transform a city into an entire campus. So we are a global university, and our goal is to be one of the world's great universities, just like Harvard, just like Stanford. But we are focused on a very different essence of education. Not the education that will help you get a job. Don't get me wrong, that is important. We're focused on the education that will help you live a more happier, fulfilled, healthy life.
Do you think there is a fine balance between living healthy and fulfilled life, as well as getting the Harvard and Stanford level of business education? I mean, what do you think that the business schools are missing that you would be offering in your... So is it a combination between both, or it's only focusing on the well-being and the growth, the personal growth of a person?
Well, firstly, in today's world, you do not need a college degree to be successful. You do not need a Harvard degree or a Stanford degree to be an entrepreneur. Those are great schools, and you get a great network from that, right? But you don't need those degrees. Now,
and you're the clear example for that.
Yes, yes. I mean, many of the greatest people in the world who are doing great things never had a college education. Colleges serve their purpose, but primarily a college education, what it gives you is a great network, a great community, and that's incredible. Now, we focus on the same thing as well. Our goal is to build the world's #1 university. 20 years from now, if we do our goal right, when people think best shoe, they think Nike, best computer, Apple, best education, Mindvalley. That is our goal. And we also give people a network, but our network, we use it in a completely different way. Our campus is completely distributed with our students connected through apps that actually pair them up in cities around the world to connect them with like-minded individuals. So we're completely rethinking university. Our university is not 4 years, it's 1 month every year for the rest of your life. Let me repeat, 1 month every year for the rest of your life. You come back to our university for like 48 years straight. When you have kids, you bring your kids. We have classes for kids as well. It's a complete rethinking of how human education works.
Amazing, amazing. So let's talk about self-transcendence, right up the pyramid. And what do you think that going through the four phases that an entrepreneur can go through, what do you think would be the breaking point that will allow that entrepreneur to transition from one stage to another?
So, that's a very complex question, but let's go to self-transcendence, right? Self-transcendence is the tip of Maslow's pyramid, and what it means is having a greater meaning in your life. Meaning is one of the biggest things that drives your motivation for work. In a study of Silicon Valley engineers, they found that the number one company people want to join is SpaceX. Why? Because SpaceX gives people meaning. If you work at SpaceX, you're helping make mankind colonize Mars. In another study by Gallup, men who worked well into their 90s without retiring said they did so because their jobs gave them meaning. Meaning is fuel. It makes your work more enjoyable. It makes you better at work. And so it's important that the work that we do isn't done for some extrinsic measure, isn't done just for a paycheck. That can wear you to the ground. Our lives are too short to be doing work just so we earn money to continue living a boring life, doing that work so we can earn that money. Work has to be infused with meaning. That's the only way I believe that we can truly live fulfilled lives, contribute to the world, and gain immense satisfaction from our work. And this means the work must be fulfilling some vision you have that you want to give to the world. It must be helping you take your gift for the human species and make that gift real and alive in the world.
I mean, this is all amazing, and I'm sure, as you know, each individual has this unique gift, unique offering to the world. So, what is your advice to ordinary individuals, I mean, common people, to actually dig deep inside and find this unique gift that they can give back to the world?
So there are many different ways, right? One of the biggest ways that I spoke about on stage is to look at the points in your life where you went through suffering. The Rumi said, true suffering is where, the Rumi said, right, that through suffering we can truly discover ourselves. Viktor Frankl said, the moment suffering leads to meaning, it ceases to become suffering. Ask yourself, what is that time when someone underestimated you, when you were put down, when you felt that life gave you a blow? What did you learn from that? And what product or service or knowledge can you create to help prevent that suffering go on to other people? Maybe you were treated really unkindly in a prior job. Maybe you were abused as a child. Maybe that suffering led to you having an overwhelming sense of compassion and love, and to be the type of person who really believes in kindness. Can you take that and put that in your product and service? Can you create a product or service around compassion in the workplace, around kindness? Can you create a product that embodies love? If you go deep, you find that often the suffering that we went through in our younger years are breadcrumbs that help us find our later meaning and our gift to the world.
I love this expression, the breadcrumbs of suffering. Right. Who knew that suffering can have so much amazing advantages, right? So going through the joy needs to come from the journey, as you mentioned, which is the suffering is part of the journey, and this is how we have to find joy in the suffering, in the joy, in the journey. So tell us please more about your new book. As we are very happy to have you here with the book signing, and we are so much grateful to have your book debut here in Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival. So I believe this is a sequel from your first book, Code of Extraordinary. So please tell us more.
So the new book is tentatively called The Code of the Extraordinary Team. It's by Penguin Random House, and it looks at what are the philosophies and principles that we can bring into a group of human beings, right? A group running a company or a startup to create a really beautiful, elegant space where people are truly loving what they do. They are loving who they do it with, and they're doing it better than they can on their own because of a particular type of embodiment as a group, an embodiment of joy, of love, of bliss, of collaboration, and the science behind that. It's really about how to bring people together to do good in the world.
Can you share with us some of the practices that you do with your own team back in Malaysia? I hear that by 5 p.m., all of the teams or whoever want to participate, they should share whatever, something interesting they learned throughout the day. So can you tell us more?
Actually, I don't know where you got that from because that's not true. I've never heard that. But so sometimes these things could be from other companies. But I'm honored you thought that I came up with that. So for example, one of the practices is that our team is really passionate about health. The average man who joins Mindvalley will lose between 5 and 10 kilograms in their first year. And typically by year 2, they are training for Spartan races. So we hold all ourselves accountable to yoga, to meditation, to racing, to marathons, to training. We go to the gym together because we want to be a company where when you join, you actually become physically healthier. And so it's really remarkable to see the transformation that their bodies alone go through in their first year in the company, because everyone is supporting each other in becoming the best human being they can be. And we refuse to accept the belief that work has to make you older or sicker or cause stress or anxiety. Work, we believe, has to be an oasis of wellness.
So going back to the practices you have at work, I believe that was one of the, I heard that or I read that somewhere. But again, anything that you have a board, vision board or something, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's the one. Yeah.
So give me 1 second. Let me just take some water.
Yeah.
So another practice we do is that we have a giant vision board in our office, and everybody in the office puts down their goals, their visions, how they want to grow, what places in the world they want to see, who they want to become on this vision board. And everybody can see everybody else's bucket list, and we all come together to help people achieve what is on their bucket list.
That's the definition of collaborative work, actually. Yeah. So, what keeps you going every day? This was my personal question. What drives you every day, keeps you going to do all of this amazing work?
Well, so I'm obsessed with one thing. The one thing that ultimately drives me, I'm looking at unifying the human race as one Earth planet with a singular flag, right? And to create a global society where people can appreciate their own culture but are part of something bigger. I think humanity as an algorithm is slightly off right now. We are damaging the earth. We're not collaborating as much as we should. And I want to help elevate humanity as fast as possible to next level species consciousness. What this means is when we come to that time when we're colonizing Mars, the flag on that rocket has to be an Earth flag, a flag that a kid in Afghanistan or a kid in the United States or a kid in UAE or a kid in Malaysia can look up to and go, I belong. And that's where I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to create Earth consciousness.
Thank you very much, Vishen. I wish if I had more time. This is all the time that we have. And thank you very much for coming to Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. It was great meeting you.